Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. This is Beyond Wild as One. We are glad you're watching. I'm Eric Njoka, the headlines. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz loses confidence vote in parliament, paves the way for an early general election on February 23rd, meets German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier, seeks dissolution of parliament. Huge setback for Justin Trudeau's government. Canada's Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland resigns over policy clash with the Prime Minister. Eleven Indians from northern India killed in a suspected carbon monoxide gas poisoning at an Indian hotel in Georgia. Initial inspection of victims' bodies revealed no signs of injuries or violence among the deceased. U.S. warship USS Savannah docks in Cambodia in the first American military port call in the country in 8 years. The arrival near a Chinese naval base comes amid Washington's deteriorating relationship with Phnom Penh as China makes strong overtures. Bashar al-Assad says he fled Syria only after Damascus had fallen and denounced the country's new leaders as terrorists in his first remarks since rebels seized the capital and unseated him. Defense Minister Israel Katz says Israel and Hamas are closer than ever to reaching a ceasefire and hostage deal in Gaza, this even as Israel continues to strike Gaza.
This is terrifying and heartbreaking breaking news that we have to report this morning here at 12:54. A deadly shooting at the Abundant Life Christian School in Madison. This is a private Christian school there in Madison, serving more than 200 families from about 56 different churches in the Madison area. We know that 5 people are dead, 5 others injured. That number of people who are deceased includes the person who police believe is a suspected shooter, who they think is a juvenile, who they say is a juvenile, but their relation to the school community, the Madison area, all of that information is unknown at this hour. Police also not breaking down who was hurt in this shooting, who was killed and who was hurt, if they were students, if they were family members, if they were adults as well. That information could come at the next update that we are expecting at about 2:30 this afternoon from local law enforcement officials. We continue to watch these live pictures, though, coming from outside of the school, where, again, we know that law enforcement officials are really taking their time to clear the scene. They want to clear not only the building, they want to clear all of those vehicles there in the parking lot as well before they give the final all clear. And then they're also at the same time, as we heard from the police chief there, working to reunify families, making sure that they can also notify the next of kin in those situations where, unfortunately, we know that people have been killed in this shooting. And, you know, the big question I think a lot of people have as we monitor situations like this and cover breaking news like this is why. You know, we heard from a woman here in Milwaukee who told our James Stratton that she was on her way to Madison right now because her grandson is one of the people who were shot. They're in the hospital right now. So she's racing there, and you could hear the heartbreak in her voice. Actually, let's go ahead and play the conversation that she had with James Stratton on the phone just moments ago within this hour as she's now rushing to Madison where her grandson is in the hospital.
Just angry, upset. Why? What's the reason? Talk to somebody. If you've got problems, talk to somebody. You don't have to settle your differences with a gun. Whatever it is, just talk to somebody.
So you hear the frustration in her voice, the anger, and her asking that question, why? That's the question that I think a lot of people ask here. Why? What happened here? What led this person, who, again, police believe to be a juvenile, to walk into the Abundant Life Christian school this morning and start shooting? And now we know that at least 4 others have been killed. 5 others are hurt in the hospital right now. Their injuries ranging from minor injuries to life-threatening injuries. A lot more to come from this investigation. Maybe police will be able to find out why this happened and what led to this tragedy. Again, you heard from the police chief there talk about how terrible this is to happen at any time, but even more so here now, just days before the Christmas holiday. This is the last week of school for students there at the Abundant Life Christian School before the Christmas holiday.
France is scrambling to deal with an unfolding disaster in one of its remotest and poorest of regions, the Indian Ocean archipelago of Mayotte. The most destructive cyclone in nearly 1 century has thumped Mayotte's 2 islands this past weekend. Winds of more than 130 miles per hour or 220 kilometers per hour laid entire neighborhoods to waste, especially poor slums. Roofs of thin metal sheet became as deadly as flying blades as they were ripped apart and took off into the winds. French authorities say they're bracing for hundreds and perhaps even thousands of dead. But there may never be a full accounting of the death toll because many of the migrants who live on the islands are undocumented, and also because of local Muslim traditions which require rapid burials when people die. French authorities are scrambling to rush aid to the population of about 300,000 on Mayotte, but damage to the airport is complicating the arrival of flights bringing emergency workers and essential supplies. In the tropical Indian Ocean climate, one of the most pressing needs amid the scenes of devastation is providing clean water for survivors who've been left with little or nothing.
كنا نايمين الساعة 12 بالليل صحينا على الهواء، أنا ما صحيتش على إلا فوق الردم، ما صحيتش على حاجة. لقيت روحي مرتي روحي وبنتي قلبي، لقيتهم كلهم مرتي كل راسها وجمجمتها مبينة، بنتي مصارينها رايحين، بنت مرتي في الشهر الثالث حامل، في الشهر الثالث.
احنا الدفاع المدني عمل انساني زي اي دوله في العالم، احنا ليش مستهدفين ما نعرفش، حتى احنا امكانياتنا مش موجوده، يعني حتى الان في شهداء هدول الشباب لسه استشهدوا طول امبارح شغالين، يعني الصبح كانوا شغالين، يعني برو شغالين بس لاجل ان احنا نطلع الشهداء والاطفال تحت الركاب.
Here at home of the drones. Thank you. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Can you comment on the drones that are flying around New Jersey ports? It seems like the American people have a big disconnect.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people, and they should, because the people are really, I mean, they happen to be over Bedminster. Want to know the truth? They're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster. I've decided to cancel my trip.
Have you received an intelligence briefing on the drones?
I don't want to comment on that.